Dollar per square foot is one of the most quoted and most ineffectively applied data points in real estate. Used incorrectly, it can lead a buyer to underbid on their dream home and a seller to overprice a home they really want to sell. So how do we use it to help us? I'm Veronica Encinas from Coldwell Banker. Let's start by focusing where dollar per square foot shines, which is way up here at the macro level. Dollar per square foot is really effective at identifying trends in the market and illustrating what's going on in the market. Take a look at this chart. It shows the average dollar per square foot of Orange County sales going back to 2019. And I think it highlights the trend pretty clearly. Following a little downturn during the initial month of COVID shutdowns, prices in Orange County marched steadily upward until they peaked around March, April of 2022. Used in this way, dollar per square foot is a great way to quickly and accurately answer questions like, are prices up from a year ago? And what time of year do prices go up most quickly? In other words, big picture questions. Another way the data is helpful is comparing the relative costs of different areas. Let's go back to our dollar per square foot chart. Only this time I'm going to provide the data for two different Orange County cities, Irvine and Aliso Viejo. So what we can see is the prices went up at almost the exact same pace and time, but Aliso Viejo consistently sold for about $50 a square foot less than Irvine. So if you're pushing up against your budget or you're trying to make investment numbers work out, understanding that your dollar goes significantly further just a few miles away is key. Finally, let's talk about dollar per square foot as it applies to a particular home. Specifically, if we know the average dollar per square foot for a given area, can we use that number to figure out what a particular home is worth? This is where things can get tricky and context is key. If you try to determine a home's value simply by multiplying its square footage by the average dollar per square foot, there's a very good chance your calculation will be off. If the home has, say, a panoramic view, an unusually large lot, or a saltwater infinity pool, a calculation based on nothing more than the interior square footage will miss the mark by a lot. But if we think of dollar per square foot as the beginning of the analysis rather than the end of it, it can be an effective part of a more thorough evaluation on value. Here's how. Once you know the average dollar per square foot for an area, you need to ask some questions and make some adjustments. For example, how large is the home? A home that is significantly smaller than the average home in the area will almost always have a much higher dollar per square foot average than a home that is significantly larger than the average for the area. How old is the home? Older homes usually sell for less on average than newer ones in the same area, so you want to be sure to account for age. Are its upgrades typical for the area? If the subject home has been recently remodeled with the latest upgrades, but much of the area is older and in original condition, the dollar per square foot will need to be adjusted to account for this. Does the home have any rare and sought after features? For example, pool homes in Aliso Viejo are a hot commodity because they're both relatively rare and highly sought after. Add a pool home to any Aliso Viejo home and its sale price is going to blow the dollar per square foot calculation right out of the proverbial water. In other words, when we use dollar per square foot at the micro level, focusing just on one home, the metric becomes less useful as a single data point and much more helpful as part of a larger analysis. Understanding and properly using data is key to making great real estate decisions. If you have questions about how to use this or any other data, don't hesitate to reach out. We're here to help.